How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I apologize for the lack of videos recently, but I went on vacation and then immediately I got sick right after, so I wasn't able to make any new content. I'm all better now, and so we'll be able to go back to our normal once a week upload. Before we move on to this video, I did want to remind everyone to check out the Razer Black Widow video, which will be linked in the description below. And if you're interested in winning that keyboard, make sure you subscribe to the channel and comment on that video. Now, the keyboard we are checking out today is the Cidoo V65 Pro keyboard. Now, keyboards like this actually really impress me, as they are definitely bridging the gap between high quality and budget price. This is a 65% keyboard that has full aluminum, gasket mounted, south facing LED hot swap keyboard that has a dual mode connectivity and compatibility with VIA for customizing your layout. Now, this bare bones version can be had for about $119 before tax and shipping. Now, you might be thinking, well, that's not really that budget compared to a lot of other ones out there. Plenty of other keyboards are around that price, like the Neo 65, the Tofu 65 respectively, and you'd be right. Except that this keyboard also comes with a pre-built version, and that only costs $129. So for $10 more, you get a full set of keycaps and switches. So before we even get into this keyboard more, I'll tell you right now, the pre-built is the one to get. Now let's take a look at this keyboard. Packaging, it's nice, it's simple, nothing crazy, and upon first glance, this keyboard actually looks quite familiar. It looks very similar to the GMK67 that we built before. Seems like it's kind of the same plate, which is polycarbonate, and they look like the same stabilizers, which are plate mounted and not too bad. Now let's get into building it. I decided to buy myself a set of their Cidoo Mint switches, which are pre-lubed linears. They use a palm stem and a PA66 housing. They also have a Cidoo matte switch, which is the same except for they use nylon housing. So really, the only difference between the two is that you're just getting one for different tones, right? Now, as for the keycaps, I didn't really have any new keycaps, so we're going to be just using some leftover keycaps from the Gamma K TK75 that we built a while back. They're a decent set of dye sub PBT keycaps. So once we kind of put everything together, let's just see how it sounds. Okay, so yeah, out of the box, it's very, very foamy, and it reminds me a lot of the GMK67 in tone, just with a tad more case resonance due to it being aluminum. If you're into that foamy, deeper sound, I think this is probably going to be like one of the best keyboards for you. And out of the box, it sounds solid. The stabs work really, really well, and there's a very consistent sound across the board, and not even with just the alpha keys. And I think that's really, really important, because there are some keyboards that sound amazing, but these the edge keys tend to sound either flat, or there's just not much resonance in them. Like a good example of this would be the Mode Envoy. The alpha keys sound amazing, but the keys around the edges are just a bit dull in some ways. I think for anyone looking for a great budget beginner board, you honestly really can't go wrong with this. The aluminum case gives it some weight, which makes it feel more premium compared to the GMK67. And even though you do have to remove the feet to get to the screws, which I think is a bit of a design flaw, the board comes apart a lot easier than GMK67. I don't know if you guys remember, but the GMK67, once you actually had switches and keycaps on, it was really hard to pull the board apart. And the only way to do it was to really pry it apart. There's no screws or anything because that's a plastic case. Now, with the ability to buy this as a pre-built, depending on your location, this might actually come out cheaper than the GMK67. Now, I know a lot of you guys were saying that, oh, you can get the GMK67 for like $23 on AliExpress. Now keep in mind, these keyboards are all built over in Asia, and so you guys don't really have to deal too much with like expensive shipping and import tax. Us over here in the US, the GMK67, the cheapest I was able to find on AliExpress was $42. Now $42, you know, if you're gonna build one out, you're gonna need to get some switches, which, yeah, you can get some cheap switches for like $20, and then keycaps. Sure, you can find some $20 keycaps, but let's be honest, if you're trying to build something decently nice, you're probably gonna spend closer to $50 for keycaps. At that point, you're spending about $130 for a full build for the GMK67. Now for $129, which is roughly the same price, you're getting a much higher quality set of not only switches but also keycaps for the Cidoo V65 Pro. So not to mention, like with all that stuff too, like the V65 Pro also just feels more premium just due to the fact that it's aluminum and is a little bit heftier. And personally for me, I find heavier boards give a little bit more of a premium feel. So if you're looking for a budget keyboard that's aluminum and has Bluetooth and south-facing LEDs and a knob, you honestly don't really need to look any further than this keyboard. So yeah, I definitely recommend picking one of these up if you're on a budget and you're looking for something that just sounds really, really good, just straight out of the box, is easily customizable, and yeah, and it's just solid. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one.